he says, أَهْلَكْتُ مَالًا لُبَدًا. First of all, he thinks nobody will have control over him. This is an illustration of power and strength. The second is an illustration of wealth. This person has a lot of money, and there's a lot of ways in which this ayah has been interpreted, and all of them fit together. First of all, he says, I have destroyed, literally destroyed, completely wrecked enormous amounts of wealth. Lubad in Arabic comes from labd or libda, which is something that's liquid and sticky, and you can pile things on top like glue to stick things together. And lubad is used for a huge pile that is stuck together. So a pile of wealth that's immobile, right? So when he says mal al-lubada, he says, I have just destroyed enormous amounts of wealth, which is kind of similar to the English expression, man, I blew a lot of money on that stereo system or whatever, right? Blew a lot of money on those rims, right? Blowing up money. Ahlaktu malan, I destroyed wealth. It is a means by which an arrogance is illustrated. He doesn't even say anfaqtu malan, I spent a lot of money. He says, I blew a lot of money, like I don't even care. I killed I killed so much cash on this thing, I destroyed so much money in that thing. The way of the Arab saying that is, I don't even care what I do with my money. And it's his way of saying, there are a few things going on here. One, he wants to tell people how much he spends. He knows what he spent. And nobody cares. But he wants to make sure people know what he spends. This is directly connected to the previous surah. Remember when his money goes away, he feels he's humiliated? Like فَقَدَرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقُهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَهَانًا. When Allah collects his rizq and calculates, he says, my Lord has humiliated me. Why? Because his idea of prestige is showing off his wealth. Now he's literally showing off his wealth. He can't even hold it in his head. He says, يَقُولُ, he says, man, I've blown a lot of money. So, he's outside with you in the parking lot, and you're just talking about, one time is salah, how much I spent on this car? He just feels the urge to tell you. He can't help himself, right? He can't help himself. Man, that's a big house I bought. I got a really good deal, only 2 million, right? And he wants to see the reaction on your face. Because he wants to hear you go, oh, right? And people get a kick out of that. People get a kick out of people staring at them and looking at them. Why is it, for a lot of people that are not mature in their thinking, and they think wealth or status, these sorts of things that symbolize wealth, will bring them status, what kinds of things do? They'll, for example, a lot of people will deck out their car, right? One, you'll get a really expensive, nice car, which maybe there's nothing wrong with, but you get like spinner rims, and you get all kinds of funny like add-ons. So when you pull over at the red light, somebody will look at your car, and you can't look at your car when you're driving, you're inside, right? You can only look at other people. What are you looking at though? You're enjoying other people looking at you. That's all it's about, right? So the decor in your life is not about you as much as it is about what other people will say when they walk in and say, nice place. Ah, mission accomplished. Somebody said nice place. The other way this is interpreted is that, when the call is made to do infaq, to spend for the orphan, to spend for the needy, to spend for a good cause. Now, when it comes to this kind of call, what does he say? Man, I've already blown all my money. I've already destroyed my wealth. I don't have anything left. So before even the fundraiser begins, what does he come and say? Man, I spent so much on that extension of the house. You know how much it cost me? Like $40,000. Now, you know why he's saying that? Because, people know that he's wealthy, so when the fundraising begins, they might go to him and say, hey, what do you have to offer? So before they even get to come to him, what's he going to say? Man, I've spent a lot of money. So they don't even bother. They think, man, he spent so much money on that other thing, so he probably doesn't have anything left. So he's psychologically defending himself from having to say no when the time comes. He's just saying, I blew all my money. يَقُولُ أَهْلَكْتُ مَالًا لُبَدًا. In this surah, he told us what's he doing now with his money. And he's bragging about it too. He's bragging that I'm just blowing my money in every direction. And Allah has already given us in the previous surah a picture of what he is going to be saying because of this. And when he stands before Allah, he'll be saying, oh, if only I had invested. Subhanallah.